sharing a bunch of mini oil paintings I did of these very beautiful perfume bottles by Dries Van Noten, and I'll also describe the perfumes as we go through. So this is the Dries Van Noten perfume discovery set. It has 10 different perfumes in these little glass vials. So I painted these, and then I also ended up getting a full size of one of them. And I got 2 more samples with the full size, so I'll get those as well. This is my favorite perfume discovery set I've ever tried. These are so beautiful and complex. So why don't we start and go from left to right, and we'll start with this one I am almost out of, which is Jardin de Lingerie. They come in these little vials. This one I'm almost out of. And behind each of them is a colored backing that looks like each perfume's bottle. I'll admit that I felt a little catfished when I first got this, because I thought that the bottles were colored. But overall, I like the discovery set so much that I forgive the catfish. The perfumer of this one is Daniela Andrier, and she says about the perfume that it is a beautiful duality of nature-inspired orange blossom with a contrast of sweet, opulent, milky, mature orange blossom. This flower can express so many different faces. The top notes are neroli buds. Heart notes are jasmine and ylang ylang. Base notes are orange blossom milk and sandalwood. The brand describes the bottle as solar and sensual. The bottle brings together a bright yellow glass with a fragile rose base. This perfume is so beautiful. It's very soft, and to me it's kind of smooth and spiced. It's great in warmer weather. I've been wearing it a bunch this summer. This sparks a super specific scent memory for me. When I was a teenager in the early 2000s, one time I was at Six Flags, the amusement park, with my family, and there was a gift shop that let you create your own lotion scent. You could put the scents that you wanted in the lotion, and I have tried so many times to find something that smells like that lotion I made. Unsuccessfully. I stopped trying a while ago, and then the dried out of this smells so much like the lotion. One of the only things I remember about what I put in the lotion was that it had ylang ylang. So it must be that mixed with something else. Maybe it's the milky quality that gives it that lotiony smell. said, I bought one full size, and then I ended up getting 3 travel sizes. I regret not getting this one in the travel size. This is definitely a favorite. I have almost impulse bought this perfume a bunch of times this summer. And if I ever find even a slight discount, I'll probably take the plunge and get a full-size bottle, because it's just so intoxicating. But I will say, if you value longevity, this might be one of the least long-lasting of the set. Next up, we have Neon Garden. The perfumer of this one is Fanny Bell, who said about the perfume, I wanted to express unconventional classicism through using auras from iris root, which is so elegant and haute couture, but I wanted to shake it, tackle it with the energy of mint. The top note is a mint essence duo, Meta spearmint and peppermint. Heart notes are carrot tart and iris accord, and the base notes are musk and ambroxan. The brand describes the bottle as elegant and joyful, a color block bottle featuring a neon green base with sky blue glass. This one has a really vibrant, colorful, and fun bottle. And I like this one a lot, but I haven't worn it a ton because it kind of reminds me of someone I know. So to me it kind of smells like them and not me. But it reminds me of one of my high school friends. He must have worn a cologne that was similar to this. When I wear this, I'm reminded of driving in his car and him offering me gum, because he was also always chewing gum. So I think it's the mint and the spearmint that really extra ties it to my memories of my friend in high school. Next up, we have Rosa Carnivora. The perfumer of this one is Daphne Bugey. Or maybe it's Buggy. Bugey. She describes the perfume saying, "This is nature, unfiltered with all its little flaws. This rose is not romantic. It is strangely beautiful, real, imperfect, and ambiguous. Next up, we have a different rose perfume that is one of my favorites, which is Raving Rose. The perfumer for this one is Louise Turner. She describes the perfume saying, "The rose is an icon for trees, but I wanted to disrupt its classicism to create a rose that is not a rose, not taking itself too seriously, ultra modern and spicy. The top notes are pink pepper and black pepper. The heart notes are rose water and rose absolute. The base notes are cashmere and musk." The brand describes the bottle saying it's a study in contrast with a vivid bubblegum pink cap set against a striking metallic red hue that offers a modernist composition, both sleek and captivating. This is one of the 3 that I got a travel size of, and I freaking love this fragrance. It is a very unique rose and is so spicy on the opening. The top notes, the pink pepper and black pepper, are super strong and they last a while, and I love it. It reminds me of really strong sparkling water that's almost over caffeinated, or not caffeinated, but bubbled. What's the word for carbonated? And it almost kind of hurts. It's like that in a smell form, but I mean that in a complimentary way. This is kind of a strange perfume. Definitely one you would want to try before you buy it. But with that said, I love it. I love rose perfumes in general. As well, I was a little surprised that I didn't like the Carnivore one, because it's a rose perfume as well, and I honestly just like most rose perfumes, so I wouldn't have guessed that I would like this one so much more. This next one, I don't know if I can say the name of this one, so let's call this Green Patchouli. The perfumer for this one is Nicolas Bondeville, or Bondeville. In Dries' world, antagonistic elements are combined to create surprise. This fragrance is like a light and dark, olfactive pattern of fresh green leaves, of clary sage aromatics rubbing up against the woody leaves of patchouli. The top notes are bergamot and cedar leaves. The heart notes are sage, incense, and patchouli. The base notes are vetiver and musk. The brand describes the bottle as wild and sensitive. A unique crafted bottle made from certified BEFC wood and forest green glass. So this one is very herbal-y. It's very complex. I haven't worn this one as much because it reads quite masculine to me, but it is really nice. I don't think it smells that green. Yeah, a lot of these they feel very unisex to me and genderless. This one's a little more masculine. Yeah, let's do a brief interlude. I accidentally painted this one instead of the next horizontal greenery. The perfumer for this one is Nazreen Grill, possibly Gree, Grille, who describes the fragrance as the union of two opposites, yet perfectly and poetically balanced. Resilient sandalwood with a lively green leaf of fig, the everlasting and the ephemeral together. The top notes for this one are bergamot and grapefruit. Heart notes are violet leaves and creamy fig accord. Base notes are sandalwood and white musk. The brand describes the bottle as addictive and elegant. A delicate white opaque glass bottle with a green base, decorated with shadows of nature. So let's talk about how gorgeous this bottle is. As I painted this, I felt more and more appreciative of how beautiful the base is. The top part also isn't white. It has like a nice yellowy olive green tint to it that makes it more unique. But I love the green base the most. I think it looks like it glows. It was particularly fun to paint. This one, I definitely prefer it to the other green one that's right next to it. It's more fresh and it feels lighter and it's more balanced. This one is a little bit masculine, but it still feels wearable to me. I usually prefer unisex or feminine fragrances. By the way, the lettering is coming up this one in such a weird way. I've had this for over a year, or not over a year, but approximately, I think, like 9 months. I wonder if I can figure out how to show you this strange way the letters are falling off. I don't know if you can see, but they're kind of scattering off individually, and to me it almost makes them look like it's a cartoon. The way letters might fall apart in a cartoon. I think it's only really coming off this one. Next up, we have a lovely, interesting, spiced one, which is Voodoo Child. The perfumer for this one is Nicolas Polia. I took so much French, but I feel like it's starting to really leave my brain, and I might need to brush up if I don't want it to totally vacate my memory. But anyway, Nicolas says, I was inspired by the iconic Jimi Hendrix track. Rosemary and patchouli are the opposite forces in action here. The rosemary, like Hendrix's guitar, is distorted to make it hot and dense. The top notes are, let's say, green accord and rosemary. Heart notes are lentique and patchouli. The base notes are cedarwood and sandalwood. does have a particularly pretty bottle. Super beautiful blue color, but it has like a glow to it. Beautiful depth. The metal part of the bottle is super pretty too, and it was fun to paint. This one does remind me of New Orleans. There's something kind of foggy about this way this smells, and it gives you a feeling of that southern humidity. It's like summertime humidity. It sort of sticks to you. I really love the way this one smells, and I thought about getting it as one of the travel sizes, but I ultimately went with another because I think they smell more like me, and this one to me smells more like a lovely place. It's pretty unisex, I think, on the dry down, so it is versatile, and I do really like it. Next up, we have another big favorite of mine, which is Rock the Myrrh. The perfumer for this one is Amélie Jacquin, who describes it saying, "Inspired by the Parisian boutique, This is Marie Salomon, who says, I fell in love with Dries' silk dresses in his Quai Malaquais boutique. The texture was so fluid it merged with the skin, which gave me the idea for a silky, enveloping perfume. A mix of chestnut with sensual vanilla. The top notes are bergamot and black currant. The heart notes are rose and silk, and the base notes are chestnut and cocoa. The brand describes the bottle as elaborate and seductive. A seductive and unique porcelain piece inspired by Delft blue combined with dark burgundy glass. So the bottle is gorgeous, and so is the perfume. And this is the one I got the full size of. The glass isn't as bright as it is in the reference picture I was using, which I think might be backlit, but I think it looks gorgeous in any kind of lighting. I mean, it's this beautiful hand-painted porcelain. At the bottom here, that really takes this to another level. It's different on the front and the back. Got two of these ducks. No, not ducks, definitely not ducks. Swans, geese. Long curved neck birds on the back. This is so intoxicating and smooth, and I think it's very sexy, but it's not heavy, and I think it's everyday wearable. But the one thing I'll say about this is that I don't like it nearly as much when it's really hot out as it is right now when it's really hot. I think my favorite out of these is the Jardin de l'Orangerie. Sometimes the opening of this smells like licorice to me, which isn't a favorite scent of mine, but even when that happens, the dry down is so silky and delicious that I'll wait it out. I actually ended up getting two of these bottles because the first one I got was broken. There was something wrong with the cap, which was kind of strangely coming off, and it was leaking. And I bought this directly from the brand because if you buy the Discovery set directly from the brand, you can put the price of the Discovery set towards one of the full-size perfumes. Or at least that's how it worked when I bought the set. But you do have to buy it directly from them, I think. So I messaged them about the cap issue and asked if maybe they could send me another cap. The person that I was emailing with was like, let me get back to you. And they ended up sending me a whole new bottle, which was awesome because I had already used like a quarter of this. And I decided to just put the perfume that was left in this in another bottle, and then I'll put it in the working bottle I have when it's done. But I'm going to use this as a flower vase, which is thrilling because it's such a cool bottle, and I would never have gotten two of them because the bottle was some kind of a weird situation going on. But yeah, it was nice that the brand just fully sent me another one. Always good when you have good customer service. At no point did I have to talk to a robot either, which is always a plus nowadays. So let's move on to the two samples I got when I got the full-size bottle. These both have amazing bottle designs, but let's start with the one that I think is so good it's a contender for best bottle out of all of them, and that is Chamomile Satin. This one has two perfumers, so it's a collaboration between Julian Roskinet and Paul Guerlain. They say the extreme addiction of vanilla bean, colored by the bucolic charm of chamomile. The top notes are chamomile, petit grain. I don't think I've heard of that one, petit grain Picard. Heart notes are lavender, absolute, orange flower, absolute, rose, Turkish, absolute. And then the base is vanilla bean, musk, and galbanum. The brand describes the bottle, saying, "The bottle brings together powder pink glass and brushed metal covered in a gold brocade-inspired pattern." So this one is the only painting that is mixed media. So all the other ones are just oil paint. But for this one, I wanted to use this gold metallic acrylic paint I have. So I used it for the gold parts on the bottle. It's a super pretty design, really beautiful. I love the combination of the cool and warm tones. Got warm metal, cool toned metal, and then this pink is an interesting kind of peachy color. It leans like neutral to warm against this cool toned cap. So when you get the samples with your full-size bottle, they are sprayers, which I do like. I really prefer that in samples because that's more of how I actually wear perfume rather than dabbing it. Though I get why they went with the dabbers for the discovery site because they are very pretty. This one is really nice, but I think I just sprayed some of it on a piece of paper, and the opening is so nice. But I think for me, the opening is more intoxicating than the dry down, which is a little bit heavier. But maybe I need to revisit this and wear it some more and see. It is definitely one of my favorite bottles. Last but not least, let's look at the second sample I got, which is the third travel size I ended up picking out, and that is Vanille Camouflage. The perfumer with this one is Alexandra Monet, who says about the perfume, "It's so unusual to see a vanilla in its very original shape, and so green. This is exactly what the fragrance translates." The top notes are galbanum, cypress, and fig accord. The heart notes are lentique absolute, ylang ylang, and sandalwood. The base notes are vanilla, bourbon, absolute, vanilla, Tahitian, how do you say that? Tahitensis, This smells like unscented lotion and vanilla, but the most expensive possible version of that. The opening is very green, but I wouldn't say it's herbal. It's just so soft and lovely on the dry down. Oh, the bottles are so pretty, but I think these are some of my favorites. The chamomile satin with the metallic gold. This really vibrant yellow and white and green striped one for Rock the Myrrh. And then I mean this one's just one of the prettiest perfume bottles I've ever seen. Did you have a favorite bottle, or have you tried these? Do you have a favorite scent? Painting these was a really fun and useful exercise, by the way, because all of the bottles have the same shape, but they are made of different materials and in different colors. So there's all these different layers or variations in opacity and the way light is reflected, and lots of different colors. So this was a really great exercise to do as I've been getting back into oil painting. Well, with that wraps up this video. Thank you so much for watching.